Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, The Lazy Bookworm. I was thinking I haven't done a book tag for a while, so I just went on the YouTubes and just looked at like videos with with book tags and all that, and I decided to do the 20 questions book tag because it sort of sounded interesting. And so without further ado, here is the first question. How many books is too many books in a book series? I think it's like a case-by-case basis. I haven't read many book series, so I don't feel totally qualified to say, but I think it really just depends. I mean, there's some series that is probably like, you should have stopped it at book 8, but there's some that, book 20 is like not enough. How do you feel about cliffhangers? I love me a good cliffhanger. Maybe because I like mystery books and sort of kind of Dan Brown adventure type books, but I love cliffhangers. Hardcover or paperback? I prefer paperback. I do have some hardcover books. They tend to be more sort of my, shall I say, decorative books. But the books I always go to are paperback because I just feel they're more portable and I find them just a bit easier to read. And also a big factor is paperbacks are cheaper than hardbacks. Least favourite book? Probably one of my least favourite books is actually, and I know I'm going to get hate because some people really love it, is The Great Gatsby. I know there's a lot of hype around The Great Gatsby. A lot of people love it, and that's cool. But for me, I just couldn't get into it at all. And I read it twice. I think it was about like a 5 or 6 year gap. I read it the first time, I think, in my early 20s. And I was like, I don't get this. And then I read it in my late 20s. And I still didn't get it. So I don't know, maybe I might try a third time, maybe in my 40s. Number 6, love triangles, yes or no? I would probably say no. To be fair, I'm not really into the romantic fiction, but I mean, I guess love triangles are good because they sort of create drama, but on the whole, I would say I'm not really into the love triangles. The most recent book you just couldn't finish? That would probably be Pride and Prejudice and Other Flavors. I can't remember the author. I'll put the author's name here. I just couldn't finish it. I tried because it sounded like a really good premise. It was sort of like a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice among this immigrant Indian family in America. Yeah, I read the first 120 pages and I had to DNF it. I just couldn't finish it. Number 8 is a book you're currently reading. I'm actually reading at the moment about 4 books. Yeah, 4 books. One of the books I am reading is Childhood, Boyhood, Youth by Leo Tolstoy. The other one is actually a non-fiction about the Russian Revolution. And I'm also reading Where the Crawdads Sing. And on my ebook I'm reading Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. Last book you recommended to someone? I would probably say Resurrection by Leo Tolstoy. I recommended that to a friend. Can't remember when I recommended it to him, probably maybe about a month, 2 months ago. Oldest book you've read by publication date? Probably the oldest book I've read is probably Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. I know that's maybe not a book, that's more like a poem, but that's probably the oldest book I've read. I haven't read any of the classics like the Odyssey or the Iliad. The newest book I read is Clockwork River by J.S. Emery. I think I did a video about it in one of my wrap-ups. I think it was my July wrap-up or June wrap-up, I can't remember, but yeah, that's probably the most recent one. That came out in 2022, I think. Well, yeah, I think it came out in 2022 or at the end of 2021, so that's probably the newest book I've read. Favourite author? Oh, that is so impossible. I don't think I can really name my favourite author. I do have some authors I really like. I do like, people like George Orwell, Charles Dickens, George Eliot, the sort of the classics. I also do like Dan Brown. Don't hate me, but I actually do like his books. They're really good sort of escapism. Buying books or borrowing books? For me, it's both. I do like to borrow books more because, for two reasons. One, books are expensive. And also, especially books that I'm not sure about, I want to sort of borrow them first. And if I really like them, then maybe I'll buy them. A book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. Well, that kind of goes back to my least favourite book. That's The Great Gatsby. Everyone seems to love that. But yeah, I just can't get into it. Another book I could maybe say is Wuthering Heights. I don't dislike it, but I just don't love it. Some people really, really love it. I just don't love it at all. Bookmarks or dog ears? Definitely bookmarks. I have lots of bookmarks. Probably can't see, but in my bookshelf behind me I have a cup that has about 20 or more bookmarks. I just prefer bookmarks than dog ears. Yeah, I will do the dog ear if I'm reading a book and I don't have a bookmark handy, but on the whole I prefer bookmarks. A book you can always reread? I would say Animal Farm. I always like rereading that. I don't actually reread a lot of books. I should, but I think I just don't read a lot because there's so many books I want to read, but yeah, and A Christmas Carol. I love rereading A Christmas Carol, especially around Christmas. One point of view or multiple points of view? I think it really depends on the book, and it depends on the writer. I think it's more about the writing style and the writing quality. I have read some books that have multiple points of view and I like them, but I read some that I didn't like because the way it was written, it either didn't add anything or it just kind of got me confused. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? For me, I tend to read over multiple days. And who do you tag? I usually don't tag people because maybe because I've never been tagged. But also I just sort of think, whoever sees this, and if you like the questions and you think the questions are cool and you like the tag, then just go for it. In a sense, you don't need my permission to do this tag or not. You just do it, Hey, Editing Rebecca here. Sorry about this, but while I was editing my 20 questions book tag video, I realised I actually had missed out on two questions. So I will just answer those for you now. The first one is favourite book. Well, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that at least one of my favourite books is Silas Marner by George Eliot. Another one is Animal Farm by George Orwell. Can you read while hearing music? And yes, I can. I often actually enjoy reading while listening to music. It has to be a sort of certain type of music, usually like kind of instrumental, like soundtracks or classical music. I've noticed if I try and read while like listening to sort of songs with lyrics, I actually find it hard to concentrate. So that was the final question in the 20 questions tag. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you next week.